day, baby.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Let's go, Book. Let's go.
Hey, Tutties only, baby. Let's go. Tutties only. Who's that?
The Jet 36, Chiefs lead 7-3. Mahomes guns it long for the end zone. Wide open touchdown to Tyreek Hill.
Hey, I think we should talk about how no fans came to touch Tyreek. That's good protocol.
Herbert still on his feet. He's got the mobility. Touchdown, Chargers.
That was probably the coolest 15 minutes of my life. Yeah, sure, I'll tie your shoe. This is way harder this way.
Hey, empty the tank for me. It's going to come down to the end, all right? White 80, sit.
Toss play over to the Raiders, Jalen Richard, and he got a first down, touchdown! Touchdown!
Yeah! Boom! Let's go!
Countdown to camp takes us to the AFC West, where Derek Carr is ready, saying camp's around the corner. Show up with a purpose. The rookies reporting tomorrow for your AFC Champion Chiefs, with the Broncos and Raiders rooks reporting on Saturday. The Chargers Tuesday with their vets, and that is the same day for the rest of the week. So the AFC West Camp Countdown now live at NFL.com/Camp Countdown. And DeAngelo Hall and Cameron Lynch back here with me to run through the entire West from Kansas City to LA in 4 minutes. That's 1,623 miles. We got a 4-3 between the three of us collectively here, so we can do it 1 minute per team. First up, D Hall. The Chiefs are the most vulnerable at what position?
Oh, I think you'll have to go with the defensive line, right? Just the uncertainty of, surrounding Frank Clark. Chris Jones is a heck of a pass rusher, but he can only play one position on that line, so I know they're going to move him around a little bit. But you see that secondary, you have to have help in this league. I know Spags is a great blitzer when you talk about calling up and dialing up blitzes and designing blitzes, but you're much better when you can cover with 7 on the back end.
And I'm going to go to the other side of the ball, D. Hall, with the offensive line. They're projected to have completely different starting offensive line in 2021, right? They firmed this up, but the guys haven't played together yet. It seems like there's a Pro Bowl offensive line that they have here so far. They gained Pro Bowler Orlando Brown, right? Kyle Long, Joe Thuney, who's now the highest paid guard in 2021, won 2 Super Bowls with the Patriots. And then they have Duvernay Tardif, right, who opted out of 2020 and was with the Chiefs when they won the Super Bowl in 2019.
Yeah, it was a problem against the Bucs. Everybody's not the Bucs, though, so we'll see what happens with the Chiefs. Yeah. Cameron, the Broncos Week 1 starting quarterback, will it be Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater?
I'm going to have to go Teddy Bridgewater on this one, right? I played against Teddy Bridgewater in college when he was at Louisville. I was at Syracuse, and he tore us up there. And I was also at Minnesota when he got hurt that time. So he's been cooking for a while here. He had a chance to learn from Drew Brees at the Saints and Sean Payton. So I think it's about his time now. You see him throwing some nice spirals there at the Denver Broncos camp. So I do think it is Teddy Bridgewater's time.
Cameron, I'm going to have to agree with you on that. You talk about watching Teddy Bridgewater grow over the course of his career, the adversity he's faced through the course of his career. Going and learning from a guy like Drew Brees, I think, helped change Teddy Bridgewater. I like what I saw in Carolina. They were a young football team that was very competitive. And then you got Teddy reuniting with his old offensive coordinator, Pat Sherman. I think that's going to be a great combination. Look, I'm not giving up on Drew Lock. I think he still has a lot of football left in him. He's a young player. But I think this team needs a guy like Teddy Bridgewater who can protect the football. They got a championship-level defense, so I like Teddy B.
It's unanimous. Print it. Teddy Bridgewater is going to start. D. Hall, let's go to the Raiders. Do they have enough talent to make a run at the AFC West?
You see, Patrick, the problem with that statement is when you talk about making a run at the West, that means you're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They've been in the Super Bowl the last 2 years, and if it wasn't for some injuries along that offensive line, I think they'd have gave Tampa a little bit more of a fight. But the Raiders do match up very well against Kansas City, right? They were able to go in there, get a win. They actually played Kansas City kind of like Kansas City plays other teams. Great deep ball. Kept Patrick Mahomes from throwing it short. But I think the Raiders might be the 4th best team in that division.
They do have a long way to go, D. Hall, but I do know that Darren Waller is one of the breakout players there, right? He had 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. That's a stack each year, and that's a nightmare for linebackers like myself, for DBs like you, a guy who can go up and get that ball, who can have yards after the catch, and so that's pretty tough there. And Derek Carr is coming off one of his best seasons of his career, so look out for the Raiders on the offensive side.
All right, so let's go ahead and be presumptuous with the Chargers. Let's say they dethrone the Chiefs. Cameron, that means they must be able to do what?
They got to rush the passer. They have to get to Patrick Mahomes. I saw the Buccaneers do it at the championship game. They got to him. Patrick Mahomes was running for his life in that game, but he made insane throws. He did a great job of getting the ball off. So the Chargers are going to have to be able to get to Patrick Mahomes, get him on the ground so he can't make plays. And last year, right, the Chargers were ranked 25th in the NFL, led by Joey Bosa. So he's going to have to get some help on that end. And they're getting back their all-pro safety, Derwin James, which is going to be a nice plus for this Chargers defense.
Hey, Cameron, look, you're absolutely right. I love Derwin James. I just don't know how Brandon Staley is going to use him, right? And that Gus Bradley defense, he was able to drop Derwin down, let him make plays the way that Seattle did with all those great safeties over the course of the years. I said the only way they're going to dethrone Kansas City is if they bring Aaron Donald with them and they bring Jalen Ramsey, because we know Brandon Staley had them on that #1 defense with the Rams. It's right down the road in L.A., so maybe they can split time between the two teams, but I don't see a chance in hell of that happening unless Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey coming with them.
Hey, why not? Give it a try. I think it could be a great piece of advice for everybody. Just get Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, bring them on. So that is the West. Appreciate that from D. Hall and Cameron. The biggest season ever, it starts with training camp. We are back, a whole week of first looks and insider access leading up to the first ever Back Together Saturday, fueled by Gatorade. A full day of coverage all around the league. All 32 teams take the field in training camp, and we will be there. Training camp, Back Together. Coverage begins Monday right here on NFL Network. 18 NFL teams missed out on postseason play last season. Some were unlucky, some were undeserving. But 3 of them